Hi, and welcome again to another Loco review. And today, or tonight, or in the evening, or in the early hours of the morning, whichever time you're watching it, we are having a look at a Bachmann model, as you can see. There's an unusual stain mark on the box there, I don't know what it is. Must have been a tear stain or something, I don't know. And today, we are having a look at the Bachmann Class 44 Peak. Excuse the plane going over. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, that's not a Class 44. That's Class 45 or a Class 46. Well, trust me, this is a Class 44 because, well, it has 44001 written on the side of the logo. So, you know, it gives the game away, obviously. But there is confusion between the Class 44, the 45 and the 46. Because they are pretty much the same design when it comes to the body, but there are differences. The Class 45 has these standard lights at the front, which is the two small lights on the front. It also has domino and headco panels and the split headco boxes as well. And also it's slightly modified as well. The Class 46 has headco panels, the two standard lights at the front, and it also has brush electricals. The Class 44 has a Sulzer motor in it, and the front has headco discs. So it's the only Peak you'll come across that has headco discs, basically. Now, this model was an eBay purchase. Now, I didn't think I'd come across this. I was aware that Bachmann had made a Class 44, but the only one that I was aware of that they did was D4 Great Gable, which is one of the two that are preserved. The other one being D8 Pennigant. But I didn't think that Bachmann had made any more Class 44s, to be honest with you. I was just aware that they'd made Great Gable. However, I stumbled upon eBay and found this, and I had to buy it. And I paid, prepared to be shocked, £36 for this. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how can a Peak cost that much money? Well, this is one of the older models, and let's face it, because they are bringing out newer ones, they tend to cost a little bit more money. These ones, well, the price goes down on them a lot. You know, you can get these for about 40 or 30 quid. Well, on eBay you can. In second-hand shops it'll probably be the same. But if you get to second-hand shops, or model shops that do second-hand products, you might find them for 40 quid. But eBay is probably the best place to try and find these, because you get such great deals on them. So, we have 32650 Class 44 diesel D1, which, interestingly, this is the actual photo of the actual loco, because when it went into tops they numbered it 44001. This is in its BR blue livery. The model isn't in BR blue. It is, however, in fact in a gorgeous BR green, and this has a name, and it's called Scaffold Pike, which, as you can see in the photo, they removed the name, which is a shame, because this is why Peaks got their nickname, because they were named after British mountains. So, why they removed the name, I'm not entirely sure. Now, I have already opened this model up, which we'll get to in a bit, but for now we'll just get it open and get to the stuff inside. Now, the box is in worn condition, as you can see. It's not in the best of conditions, but then it is an old box. Can't get this out now. I'm going to have to open up the other box end to push it out. I don't normally have to do this, there we go, but it does have to happen occasionally. So I'll just shut that one end up of the box. And the empty box, which is the old Bachmann box that they don't use anymore, can be put to one side. Then we come to the card insert, which I do love these, but it's a shame that they use the wrong photographs from time to time. But at least they've got a photograph of the right logo. And you get some brief history on the back. Now, two of these are preserved, as I said earlier. They were built at Derby Works between 1959 and 1960. and they were nicknamed pigs, as I said earlier, because they were named after British mountains. They lasted, well, the 44s lasted till 1980, where they were based at Towton, and 10 of these were built. And that is all you need to know really about these. I do know a lot more about them, but I'm not going to say anything else because it would go too long. And, well, it will just be long and dragged out. Because I don't need to mention every single little bit of detail of a locomotive. As long as I mention some of its history, then that's good, in my opinion. Then here's the guarantee. God, I've got butterfingers. I have, I swear to God. As you can see, we don't need that. So that'll go in the bin. And then here we have the instructions for the Class 44, which is the usual helpful guide, as you can see. And I'm thankful the previous owner actually kept them. So we'll put them in the folder later. Now this is brand new in the box. And I'm inclined to believe, if I remember correctly, it's never been run either. Well, I think it's never been run, but I do know it's brand new in the box. So, we have a detail pack in here. Let's come straight to this first. If it will come out. In fact, we're going to need a pair of tweezers to lift it out. So, what have we got? We have the head code discs, as you can see. You get the open ones and the closed ones, in which, accurate to the prototype, one half is green and the other half is yellow. Simply because the ends of the locomotive are not the full yellow warning panel. And you also get the vacuum pipes and jumper cables in there. Basically, most of it you need to stick on the front, really. So, that'll be fitted on later. Right, now that's all that's left to do is to put your finger in the hole. That sounds wrong, I know. And gently lift it out. Right, now for a brief second, when I took the peek out of the box, you may have noticed that one of the handrails down here, at the side of the door, had come off, and so I had to glue that back on using the good old-fashioned polycement glue made by Humbrol. Now do be careful, because the handrails where the doors are made of plastic and they are fragile. To be honest, they would have been better off if they'd made them out of the metal, but that's just me. Anyway, so as I said earlier, I have already opened this locomotive up, and that was because when I first received her, one of the perspex windows out to the side of the cab had come out, and so I glued that back in. But to do that, I had to take the screws out and take the body off, which was a nightmare, but I fixed the window back in, and I'm loving her. I mean, let's go to detail for a start. She's incredibly heavy, which is good, because we need the weight, because it needs to pull things, because otherwise it will be as useful as a model on display on a shelf, so it wouldn't be able to pull anything. But anyway, so as you can see, we have the accurate 1 Coco 1 wheel arrangement. We all know what 1 Coco 1 means, so I'm not going to go down that road what it is or what it means. You have rivets on the bogies as well, as long as the axle boxes and springs, and steps there, and also you have some sanding gear as well, which adds to detail. You've got the fuel tank here as well, with handrails that run along the bottom there, as you can see. And I think that makes it really good. And also these air tanks on this tank have been painted white, and that actually makes it look stand out from a mile off. This other bogie here as well is nicely detailed, with rivets, springs and axle boxes, and another step there. You have a hook there for a chain link coupling to fit on if you wanted to fit it. this is where the detailing has to go, as you can see with these holes here. That is the socket where you can fit couplings in, so it does have NEM sockets. At this end, there's a coupling already in. This model didn't have one fitted at the front, but I do have some spare, so whenever I wish to, let's say, double head this with another loco, I can just slot it into there. Of course, sprung buffers, as you can see. That's what we would expect from Bachmann from there on. Lamp irons on the front of the model, as you can see, as well as these small handrails here and a warning sign. These are the lights. I don't know if they light up, but you do have the little holes here where the headco discs go. And also we have a accurate livery application. Train on then. It wasn't from a Peak, which is a shame, but there you go. But this loco is in a stunning BR green livery with the lake crest and the white stripe that goes along on the end of the body, at the bottom of the body should I say rather, and the white paint that goes around inside these grills here, which is accurate and it makes it look stand out as well, and the grey roof. So they've got the livery spot on like they always do, and it has the small yellow warning panels, as you can see, instead of the full yellow warning panel. You have wipers on the windows as well as glazing in all windows like they should be in both cabs. Now at this end of the cab we have a driver in there, as you can see. Now he was originally sat in this end where the fan is, but as I'd taken the body off to glue that one window back in, I decided to take the driver out of that cab and put him into this one. He was glued in because Bachmann do glue them in, but the glue isn't really that strong, so all I had to do is break the glue, take him out of that end of the cab and stick him in this end. I know it doesn't matter which end he's sat in because it's a diesel. It's designed to go in both directions, but if you tend to have this end of the loco the front and couple your stock where the fan is, then it does look a bit better, I will be honest. There's the running number, D1, and the builder's plate there. There's rivets all along the body, on the bottom, and around this grille here, which has a very nice texture to it, as you can see. There's some more detailing here, and the door handle there. There's the BR Light crest, but when it comes to crests I prefer the early emblem though. Then you have the nameplates, Scaffoil Pike, which are printed onto the model, but you can find some extra ones I'm assuming, and put them on the model if you want. You have some more grills here on the loco. I love the white stripe that runs on the bottom of the body there. That, I'm assuming, is where the fuel goes into. Then the other end of the loco is pretty much the same as the other end, as you can see. Sprung buffers, NEM sockets, lamp irons, you know the rest. Turn it around to the other side. The detail is the same. The running number, grills, it's all the same. And there's the nameplates. And then the roof is very nice. You have the grille there with the fan underneath, which doesn't spin, but what do you expect? Rivets as well. And these panels at the top. And that I do believe is the exhaust. Not 100% sure, but you could always weather it round here if you wanted to. Pardon. And you have a few more rivets on the top of the cab as well. So, what else is there to say about her? Well, I think it's a great model. And I think Bachmann made a Class 46, I'm not sure, but I'm definitely going to have to get one when I see one. Because when it comes to classic traction, whether it's a Peak, a 47, a 37, a 25, a 24, a 33, a 27, 47, 37, Class 20, Class 40, the list goes on. Classic traction has a lot more charm to it than the modern stuff, and I prefer this classic traction a long run over the modern stuff. The Class 67 is decent, but as you know, I don't like the Class 66s. The 70s are alright, but, well, let's put it this way, they overheat, and a few of them have been caught in engine room fires. They're alright, but I'm not a massive fan on them. And the Class 68s that are going to be coming over here soon, I'm not too keen on them either, because they're just rip-offs of the Class 67. If you've seen photos of them, you'll see why. But I do also have the Class 45 as well, which if I hold on a second, I'll just get it. And so here it is. Now I'm not going to hold both models at the same time, because it will be too tricky. But here's the 45, and it's in a stunning BR blue livery. And I've got the Class 44, so this can run with the Class 45. And I think that'll look really rather ace. And I do plan to double head these two locomotives at some point. So in fact I probably will get another coupling in there, but we'll do that for later. But with this 45, look at it. This particular model 45114 has been discontinued. In fact, actually, so is this 44 here. In fact, these Class 44s by Bachmann are now discontinued, including the more recent one, Great Gable. So Bachmann are not producing these 44s currently, but they are still producing these 45s. And recently they have brought some out. I can't remember what year it was, but they have brought these back out again. But as of this year, they haven't released any. But they are still producing them. Yeah, this has spoon buffles as well. But you can just see the detail on this model is ace. Just look at it. If you haven't got any peaks, whether it's a 45 or a 44, you need to get one. Or get both models. And if you can find a 46, get that as well. Because you literally just fall in love with them like any other classic traction loco. And if you're a fan of classic traction, and you collect it on your layouts, it won't be complete without any of these peaks. And so I'm very glad I've got two. So then, with that said, let's put this model on the tracks and see how it runs. Right, well, several hours have gone by now since I did the unboxing. And the reason I say that is because, as you can see, it's now night time outside. That's because I've had other things to do. But anyway, so now we're going to put the Class 44 onto the tracks and run it. Okay, so, well, that's one bogie on. There we go. Let's just test it. Oh, hang on. It does run, yes, but we had a wheel off then. Yes, there we go, it runs. Okay, so let's get her running. Okay, well, she's running smoothly, there's no grinding noises. There she goes, passing through the tunnel. And she will now be appearing from the other side. Under the bridge. Past the main road. And then passing the engine shed. And the beach. And back to the station. Okay, so now we are going to get a pulling a rake of maroon coaches. Now I've just made up a rake over there. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the Class 04 to shunt now. So what we need to do, we need to get the 44 out of shot. And we're going to park it just here. Okay. Now that she's coupled up, let's get her going pulling this train. Yeah, she can cope with these. Here she is passing the seaside with all the invisible people waving as she goes by. And back through the station. And there's the cheeseburger that I'm eating while I'm filming this review. Right, well I think we'll leave it at that then. There's not really much else to say, other than the fact, if you see one of these, get one. So that cheeseburger you saw earlier on has gone down a bit. I've even got a can of Pepsi that's just appeared, so that's for me to enjoy later. But for anyway, thanks for watching this review. Leave your comments in the comments box below, and while you're at it, subscribe. and I'll see you again soon for another video.